If you caught the main event at UFC 298, Volkanovski versus Topuria, you saw what is the most dangerous moment in fight sports for any competitor, especially high-level competitors. Today we're going to break down what that moment is and how you can go about training so you don't fall victim to the exact same thing that happened to Volkanovski. I'd like to thank everybody on the channel for bearing with me over the last week as I deal with this cold slash what feels like laryngitis. I was away at a seminar. My throat got really strained and I'm still trying to bring you guys content, but it's not my best. It's not my best content in the sense it's hard to speak and my energy levels are definitely a little low, but I'm getting back there. And hopefully today's episode will be fun for you. We're talking about the most dangerous moment in fight sports. As your skill level rises, you should get more and more confident in your defense. So much so that if somebody's standing in front of you and you're defensively aware, like you're really thinking about defense, and that's all that's on your mind, and this guy could throw 3 techniques, 4 techniques, 5 techniques, and you're fine just boom, boom, boom. Or standing in there and blocking some kicks, or even blocking some stuff and catching a kick, because you're solely focused on defense. It's not those moments that scare me. I can lead off in a fight early in round 1, maybe even in the later rounds, and just put my guard up and be like, let's see what this guy's got. Let's test out his power. And I know he's not going to break through, and I know the risk of me getting KO'd is pretty much minimal. So what is the most dangerous moment? Because most people would think it would be in those moments where you're shelled up here and this guy's just trying to take you out. No. As we saw in the main event at UFC 298, the most dangerous moments are when you go on the attack and this guy happens to be throwing at the same time. If you're fortunate enough or skilled enough to make sure that as you attack, this guy can't get anything off and you can recreate distance, then you're safe all the time. But very often that's not the way it plays out. You go to throw, this guy starts to counter, and then you're throwing and you get clipped. That is the most dangerous moment, at least for high-level fighters, because they have established a solid defense, but they're not staying defensively oriented in mindset while attacking. And we saw Volkanovski, he was in his little shell, he took some shots, he backed up, he threw something out, and then another shot from Topuria started to come. He went for the counter. He left this hand out. He didn't bring it back to his head. He got clipped as he was throwing a shot because he was thinking about offense, not about defense. If he'd been thinking simultaneously about his defense and offense, he would have gone, okay, if I throw this hand right now, as this one's extended, I'm really exposed, so I got to have my eyes open. So he's remembering, okay, I got to pull back. But even the best fighters in the world, when they are struggling, when they're up against somebody whose skill level is very high, they're going to make errors. And we saw him get exposed. That's at one tiny error when he was throwing a shot and you get countered. And of course, keep in mind, here defensively you're really safe, but once you let an arm leave, you create an opening. If you leave 2 hands out, there's double the openings. And this is not to take away from Volkanovski, because obviously, he's an amazing former champion, one of the highest skill level guys ever. His defense is on point normally. We saw him against Topuria doing an amazing job until he made that one tiny mistake. But what should all of us be trying to do to get super high level defense? We should be making sure that whenever we throw shots, we think, what are the openings? And you could work a jab over and over and over and over and over and just go, okay, as I throw, close off this side. So any hook that comes is blocked. You could also bring your hand at a 45-degree angle and go, okay, now I'm blocking a jab. The jab comes as I jab, I'm blocking it. You could go, okay, what about the overhand? I'm gonna snug this shoulder really tight and drop my chin. So only the top of my head is exposed. You can do all of that. At the same time, you can start thinking about, okay, what happens if he starts front kicking as I start jabbing and I have to do a scoop? Or if he throws a round kick here and I have to make sure I just bend a little bit so they don't get below the elbow. When you can start thinking about, okay, offense is not just offense, it's defense at the same time, then that's when this most dangerous moment in fight sports becomes a little bit less dangerous. And this is the kind of stuff that I'm going to be covering in my upcoming defense course. I'm going to throw a link down below so you can get yourself on the wait list, and when the opportunity comes, you will be able to get registered for what I believe is going to be the most comprehensive defense course to striking that we've ever seen. So let's call it there, everybody. This is just something that I wanted you to keep in mind as you go to your next training session, that the most vulnerable point of you getting hit is when you go on the attack. But you can close that off with some of the tips that I mentioned today. Thank you for joining, everybody. As always, train hard, and I will see you back here soon for another video.